it's Andre, and it's a late Friday night update, but I've been busy and having some fun getting some of these aircraft back in the air. First on the plate tonight is the EFX Racer. My Hobby King order showed up, and so I've got a new motor. The stock short shaft 28, 36, 2300 kV motors were not in stock, so I went with a 27, which apparently will give me 4S ability with the 6x4, 6x5 props, 3S, 4S, and I can also dump down. So I'm looking forward to it. So what I've done with this motor is I've actually, initially I cut the shaft, but I wasn't satisfied with how well that went, so I'll order another one. I stole the shaft off the 2300 and put it into the 2700, so that's all ready to go. It's got the front end. I have gone with the nice carbon fiber X mount, so that's all going to go back into it. This plane was all done, but a friend of mine was Richard from BC was encouraging me to switch the shaft so I get a better result, and he's correct. I did, however, manage to slice up my hand a few pieces, but yeah, whatever. So the motor will go back in. I'll do a couple little tests and all this, and hopefully the EFX and I will get along. When I did crash it, I did a pretty good number on the inside. I cracked the wing down the side here, and what it looks like is I had over-tightened the wing screws, and just so now I've gone back, put in Loctite, let the Loctite do the work, and epoxied it and put some reinforcement tape in there. I also took the time and routed the satellite receiver into the back and the antenna on one side and the satellite on the other side, so I don't have to deal with it up front. I'm really hoping this new motor gives the plane a little bit of life. The 2300 bearings were just, the top bearing was just destroyed. I tried to replace it, didn't quite work out, so I've got a bad feeling this motor is done. As soon as a new one comes out, I will order a replacement, unless the 2700 does it good. Should be nice. I do have those 3S 2200 spec 64 amp A spec batteries, so they should be really positive. 3S, just I want to fly this thing. I'll come up to the 4S when I'm ready, but I just want to come to terms with this aircraft. There's no reason I shouldn't. I've had successful flights, and I think that last dump in the winter, when I nosed it in, just did some stuff to the motor, and I knew in the last toss I must have firewalled it, and it's poof, done, So anyhow, it's coming back online. The stress of owning a pretty plane is, I've mucked it up a little bit. I should go to Home Depot and get some color, some paint, just clean it up and everything. And if this thing goes, I'll just be really satisfied. This week, I did get out flying twice. I wanted to go out this evening, but the winds were a little high, and James asked me to hang out with him, so I did. Saturday, the winds look ridiculous, 35 and better. So I'm just going to stay home and do some projects, and Sunday hopefully get out. But I've flown the T-28. I got out there with the FT Racer, experimenting with 4S. It doesn't really like 4S in that prop motor combo. And flew the Sukhoi for the first time since December. Now there's an airplane that I really have not had a lot of flight time on. I mean, that's a plane I have to practice my approaches and landings. I can fly the T-28, land it and everything, and then I had the Sky Mule out on the 10x7 master air screw props. And compared to the slow flies, the 10x4x5s, they're all multi-copter props, it was a completely different airplane. I could really slow it down. Coming and landing in the wind, it looked like a big old Dash 8, and it was just, sitting there and just letting the wind move it around a little bit and just touchdown. And so that was really fun. And that order from Hobby King, batteries, some 1300s for the Radian, plus a long-whipped DSMX receiver. So that plane is ready to go. I did fly it last weekend, and as anybody who flies a Radian knows, wonderful experience. I had the 1000s in it. I got about 4 minutes on the motor in some pretty windy conditions. The first flight, the battery was all the back, and the CG was all wrong, but I just threw it and took off. And I think I did a loop on start and just went from there. So really happy with that airplane. I'm going to put the stuff into it, and it'll be good to go. So I'll have these guys plus 2 other 1000s. No need to run the 22s now. So I just figured I needed shipping, and the weight was up enough, so it was like $10 more for the FedEx shipping. So it got here in a couple of days versus like 10 days. So happy. And now that plane is ready to go. So all in all, about 160 Canadian if you factor in the batteries and the receiver, and I have a Radian ready to go flying, and just ecstatic to have that plane in my fleet. So, and you're probably looking at the S500 going, holy. So I've been playing with this thing a little bit more, and I really, really, really dig the 3D Robotics tower interface on an Android tablet. So this tablet will actually, fire. I do have a Bluetooth device, but it's a wrong connector for the telemetry radio. But this particular tablet will power through the USB port. So I'm good to go. And I was playing with it the other day. Just the GPS, nothing is really set, but just take off, and the thing fires the motors up and does its thing and lands. So I'm really looking forward to this thing. This is going to be a lot of fun over the summer. In the Hobby King order, I threw in, I've been wanting a little dampening platform, so that's going to, all the gear's going to come off now, and be able to sit there and be able to just screw those all in with the little screws I got from the Banggood order. So I will do a full in-depth on this bad boy as I finish setting it up. The wires are everywhere, but I'm still working through it. But I have a lot of positive vibes from this craft. So, the GT750 should be fine. I'll be running the 3S 4000. And it should be just a hoot. So most of the airplanes from the fleet are ready to go. The FPV birds are almost all set. I've been messing around with the Wraith. Those folding props I tried on it, useless. I just got no spin out of them. I threw the plane and it kind of went nowhere. So I said, okay, let's go back to the 7.5s. Alex suggested doing some prop savers, but I just have never had a lot of success with them. So I stuffed some pieces of extra foam I had underneath the booms, and hopefully on landing that'll impact them a little bit. And that plane's got the return to home with the override, so I'm really looking forward to that feature, and just flying it with the override so I can turn the stabilization off completely, and just, that Wraith will just, it's a race car, twin prop, just a beast. It's got a lot of gear on it, but man, I got to get back into FPV. So other than that, just really happy to fly all the planes. And E-Flite released photos of that P-47. I have to say, and I fully admit, the Durafly P-40 might be in trouble. That plane is so far behind, unfortunately. I like the Duraflies. They're great value for money, but I want to fly a Warbird this summer. So we'll see what happens. I have to watch my bank account and go from there, and see if I can save up for that bad boy, because it is an expensive plane. But when I crunch the numbers, say compared to the Sea Fury, and all the spare parts and in order of X size, I'm almost at the same value for plane. And this one's got AS3X in it, which me and AS3X. But so we'll see what happens later on this summer as far as if I do get the Warbird. And other than that, I've just been flying everything I have and having a good time, and just really looking forward to good weather. But like I said, 2 times this week getting out to go flying is a wonderful thing. So hopefully Sunday will look like good flying weather. If not Saturday, I guess I'm going to be tooling around with this stuff and doing stuff with the family and everything. So have a great flying weekend. Enjoy your Friday night. Cheers.